Look at that tie. It's blue, dark blue, almost black. English silk, tight weave, no garish pattern. Worn with a white shirt and a charcoal gray suit, cut to measure at least 20 years ago. English shoes with leather soles, worn down at the heel. The watch is small, round with a cream dial. It was probably his grandfather's. Now look at the other one. Everything new, everything gleaming. A jacket with padded shoulders, shoes with red soles, a watch with a face the size of a dinner plate. The logo is everywhere, on the belt, on the buttonhole, on the lapel. Cologne you can smell from 3 meters away. Perfect hair, perfect teeth, everything perfect. Two wealthy people, two opposing worlds. One is called old money, the other new money. These two expressions come from English, obviously. Old money means old wealth, inherited, passed down from generation to generation through aristocratic, mercantile, landowning families. New money means newly earned wealth, made in one's own lifetime, often in a short time, through entrepreneurship, finance, entertainment, technology. Two legitimate sources of wealth, two opposing philosophies of how that wealth is carried on the body, in the home, at the table, in the way one speaks. The difference is not moral. It is aesthetic. It is cultural. It is, in the end, almost anthropological. Old money knows something that new money is still learning. It knows that true wealth conceals itself. It is worn the way an old name is worn, lightly, with no need to display it. Whoever has had the country house for 4 generations sleeps soundly. He knows the house will still be there tomorrow morning. He knows the family name will still open that door, that bank, that club. Because the opening of that door does not depend on today's jacket. It depends on decades or centuries of accumulated reputation. New money, on the other hand, it arrives quickly, often with an extraordinary story behind it, with talent and courage to spare. But it arrives in a world that watches it with curiosity and with a thin thread of quiet suspicion. And so it must prove itself. It must show itself. The logo becomes an argument. The car becomes a press release. The villa is a signal. Everything speaks because everything must convince. It is an understandable need, ancient even. Those who rise want others to witness the ascent. It is human. But the point is that once the ascent is complete, one stops recounting it. I always return to the body because the body is honest. You can buy everything. You can buy the suit, the watch, the wine, the table at the right restaurant. But the body tells a different story. The way one sits, the way one greets people, the number of words used in a room full of important people. Old money speaks little. It asks questions. It listens. It has nothing to prove, and so it can afford silence. The silence of someone who knows that their presence alone is sufficient. New money fills the space. It recounts, explains, enumerates. Figures enter the conversation with ease. The square footage, the price of the watch, the holiday destination. That same need to convince, that same urgency to be recognized. And then there is the gesture, the small, intimate gesture that no style course teaches. How one picks up a glass of wine, how one opens a door, how one responds to criticism, how one treats the waiter. These gestures are learnt in childhood by watching parents, grandparents, the people around you. They are learnt without knowing it. They enter the body before they enter the mind. This is the point. True elegance is always unconscious. The moment it becomes conscious, it already begins to crack. The relationship with money is the litmus test, the definitive one. Old money does not speak of money. It uses it, of course. But it speaks of it with the same ease with which it speaks of air. It takes it for granted in the most literal sense. It is simply there, present, existing as the table on which one rests one's elbow exists. To discuss it would be as vulgar as discussing one's liver at dinner. New money is still at the stage where money is an epic, a conquest, a story of redemption. And it is a true story, often a beautiful one. The boy from the outskirts who builds a company from nothing, the talent that imposes itself against every prediction. These stories deserve respect. They deserve admiration. But wealth brings with it a temptation, the temptation to keep telling that story, even when the moment for it has passed, when the chapter has already closed and a new one has begun, when remaining in that narrative means remaining fixed in an identity that belongs to the past. The true leap happens when you stop using money to speak and begin using it to do things that speak for themselves. There is one element that separates everything else. That makes the distance between these two figures something deeper than a wardrobe or a way of life. It is time. Old money has time. It has had time. Generations of time. The great-grandfather who bought books. The grandfather who kept a horse. The father who studied at Oxford or Bologna or Vienna. And then you, born into a house full of objects with a history. A house where the dining table had already hosted important conversations before you were born. This produces something that money alone does not produce. It produces perspective. It produces that capacity for patience that is not found in markets, accelerated courses, or paid consultancies. Perspective is inherited alongside the silver cutlery. New money has enormous energy. It has hunger, ambition, speed. It knows how to do things that old money has forgotten how to do, or perhaps never knew. It knows how to build from nothing, but it has often not yet learnt to wait. Haste is its most recognizable quality. The haste to arrive, to establish oneself, to be included in those drawing rooms where the pace is slow, where no one rushes, where the tea hour is the tea hour and nothing more. I am exploring all of this at length in a book I have been working on for some time. Let us return to that blue tie. Whoever wears it did not choose it this morning. He has probably worn it for years. It was probably his father's. The tie is not a declaration. It is a habit. And this is precisely the difference you try to conceal, and that is always visible anyway. Old money dresses for itself. New money dresses for others. Old money furnished its home to live in it. New money furnishes its home to photograph it. Old money holidays where it has holidayed for 30 years. New money goes where those go who want it known where they go. No condemnation, simply a description. Money alone buys almost everything. It buys luxury. It buys even a certain form of respect. But there is a quality that fresh money has not yet purchased. It goes by many names: discretion, composure, quiet self-possession, savoir-vivre, style. And style, by definition, always arrives late. It comes afterwards. It comes when you have stopped searching for it, when you have stopped trying to buy it, when it has finally become your natural way of being in the world. At that point, old money or new money, the distinction loses its importance, because you have become something that no label can contain.